What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now today, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we have got possibly the most entitled family of all time. This one has a juicy update as well, so stay tuned for that. And also, for those of you that like my Reddit stories to relax to or sleep to episodes, this one might be one for you as well. I'm going to do this in a much more chilled voice and see what you guys think. Anyway, let's get into it. Make sure you're subscribed. Get ready for this crazy entitled family. Our neighbours have been having pool parties at our pool while we are not home for years. A few years ago, my husband and I purchased a house with a pool. Now, we are acquainted with most of our neighbours, but definitely not close friends with any of them. They all seem nice, but well, we just don't have much in common other than where we live. Next door to the right is a family of 6. Twin daughters attending the local university, high school age son and a young elementary school age daughter, maybe first or second grade, and then the parents. Now, normally we open the pool in early May and we keep it open until the end of October. But this year our weather was off and we had a very cool and very wet month of May, and then June went straight to 100+ temperatures. Now, I'm currently on medication that makes it difficult for me to tolerate being in the sun and heat for an extended time. Plus, we have been helping 2 extended family members who are having health issues. So, because of this, we haven't had our pool opened yet this year. Normally, we go to the family lake house for a week during each of the 3 major holidays. But we didn't go for Memorial Day because there was flooding around the lake this year, and because a family member was just discharged from the hospital yesterday, and July 4th being a Thursday this year, we decided to stay home this week and be available to help this family member. Now, several times in June, the little girl next door has seen either my husband or myself outside, and she's asked when we are opening the pool. We first told her maybe later, but the last time, yesterday, that she asked, and I said we're probably just not going to open it this year, she started crying. Now, we've never had any of our neighbours over to use our pool, so I didn't understand why she was crying over us not opening our pool. Well, I spoke with the neighbour on the left later, and apparently our neighbours on the right have been having a small family party at our pool every 4th of July when we're gone. They've always cleaned up really well afterwards, and because we have scheduled pool maintenance and weekly yard service, occasionally things are moved around in our yard and we never thought much about it. The neighbour on the left thought we'd given the other neighbours permission to use our pool. We did give them permission to retrieve any balls or toys that ended up in our yard, but never permission to use our pool, especially when we're not at home. We have a special latch on the gate, and my husband did show the neighbour how to open the gate to retrieve his kids' toys. So now my husband, who loves gadgets, is going to have several more cameras installed around the exterior of our house, covering the gate and pool area, and have the gate latch made where we can grant remote access for the pool service and yardmen. Luckily, we have a friend who does cameras and home automation systems. I'm annoyed our neighbours have been using our pool without permission, but my husband is happy I am letting him get more gadgets around the house. Now, do we confront the neighbours and let them know we know they've been using our pool, or do we just wait and see if they say anything about our new security cameras? Okay, so that is it for the original post, but as I mentioned in the introduction to this one, there is an update that was posted just 2 days later. Let's get straight into it. I didn't expect this to blow up like it has. I certainly didn't expect over 1,000 comments. Actually, yeah, looking at the original post, it has over 18,000 upvotes and yeah, over 1,000 comments. I've tried to read them all, and some were very creative and amusing to read. First of all, we don't want to hurt anyone or alienate our neighbours. We just don't want people using our pool without permission, and we don't want the liability associated with this activity. Here's an example of a comment that I think that OP was referencing. Somebody said on the original post, "I'm so petty that I'd open the pool, hide the cars so they'd think I was gone, then lurk hidden near the pool ready to step in and ask what the heck they think they're doing when they stroll in for their party. I'd embarrass them in front of their guests so hard." Then again, you have to live next door to these people, so probably best not to do that. But that would be so good in that moment, oh my goodness. Anyway, let's get back to the update. A few things I feel I need to clarify. Yes, our backyard is fully fenced in with 2 gates. The one in the back is double locked from the inside. The side gate on the side of the garage nearest the neighbours in question has a double latch that you have to reach over the top and find not 1, but 2 releases to open the gate. There's also an auto close that automatically closes the gate and latches it. I personally can't open the gate from the outside of the fence because I can't reach over that far to reach the two latches. The previous owner put this in and it's worked well for our yard crew and the poor maintenance people. We do have some cameras, a doorbell camera and a camera over our garage area. The garage camera picks up if someone goes towards the gate from the front, but we didn't want to invade our neighbours' privacy by recording their side garage door and gate to their backyard. We even shared the camera angle with them because we didn't want them to be concerned about us recording their children or their coming and going. I guess we were more concerned about their privacy than they were about ours. Anyway, the update. Thursday, July 4th morning. I was loading a few things in my vehicle to take my cousin who just got out of the hospital. Neighbour/husband, who's been gone a lot for work recently, saw me and came over and asked if I was getting a late start going to the lake. I let him know that we were staying home because we're helping my cousin who just got out of hospital. He asked if we were going to be staying at home all weekend. I said yes, one or both of us will be around all weekend. He quickly wished me a happy 4th and went home. I went back in to grab my purse and tell my husband about the conversation with the neighbour before I left. When I got home, our friend Mike was there. Mike does security cameras and home automation systems, gadgets, and my husband loves gadgets. Mike and my husband have a plan for multiple cameras and several gadgets, some of which involve us going ahead and having the pool opened. I agreed to all but one of the new cameras and almost all of the gadgets. I think my husband put some in the plan, knowing he'd have to give up on a few of them. Mike also suggested talking to our homeowner's insurance agent because we might be able to get some discounts with the security upgrades. So on Friday the 5th, Tom, our insurance guy, comes over and Mike is back and he has a drone to help him find the best camera positions. Really, I think he just wanted to show off his gadget. So my husband, Mike and Tom are outside and all around the house and occasionally inside. I look outside every so often, and at different times, other neighbours have come outside and down to our end of the street. The neighbours want to know what's going on, so my husband tells them we're concerned that someone, or several people, may have used our pool without our permission while we were not home. It turns out that 2 different neighbours had witnessed some friends of the neighbours' children come over last year, and they and the neighbour twins had gone into our backyard. One neighbour even asked the girls, and they claimed that we let them come over all the time and use our pool. So at this point, my husband and Tom discussed this, and Tom says we should send a registered letter to the neighbours rescinding our permission from entering our fenced-in backyard. So before Mike and Tom left, the neighbours on the right, pool party neighbours, come home, both husband and wife. My husband asked to talk to them, and with Mike and Tom as witnesses, he tells them that for insurance reasons, we are rescinding our permission for them or any member of their family or guests to enter our fenced-in backyard, and we will be sending a registered letter stating this as requested by our insurance. My husband never accused them or their children of using our pool, but said we had reason to believe that in the past, our pool had been used without our permission. He did say that we had reason to believe that their older children might be friends with someone who's been in our pool. My husband also told them that we are changing the gate to have an automated lock and cameras will be installed around the pool area. He also assured them that we'd avoid the cameras being pointed at their windows or backyard. My husband indicated that we were taking these measures to hopefully lower our homeowners' insurance rates. He said that they exchanged a few looks between them, but they said they understood and appreciated the heads up. So, hopefully this saga is over, but if there are any other updates, I will try and post them. Okay, so there we go. That is the end of the story for now. And I'm going to be honest, a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a really amazing ending to this one. Something along the lines of a comment I read below the original post, but maybe that was a little bit too far-fetched and fanciful. But I was dreaming of something as poetic as that. Imagine the look on their faces when you just come out of nowhere. Surprise, we're not at the lake, and you are on our property. Here are the police. Would have been amazing. But in a much more real sense, I understand exactly why you did what you did, and it's a much more succinct and sensible solution to this problem that, is going to have the best long-term effects. I think though, just finally, I do need to just talk about the absolute entitlement to go and use your neighbour's pool and have a party there without them knowing. Imagine doing that. It's genuinely insane. And you can't for 1 second say or have the excuse that because when my kid knocks the ball into their garden, we're allowed to go and get it. I'm then allowed to use the pool whenever I want. That's not how it works. It's absolutely insane. It is illegal, it is trespassing, and I'm glad that they've finally been stopped because it's just unbelievable what they were doing. Okay, now for our next story. Plane seat bandit finally happened to me. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm actually going to get on a flight in under 3 hours from the time of recording. So this is going to scare me, but I'm going to do it just for you. People stealing plane seats and getting told off for it are some of my favourite stories on Reddit. With the increase of plane seat bandits, most likely due to airlines almost making it a requirement to pay for seats if you want to sit next to your plane partner, I've been half expecting to run into one since me and my husband travel a lot for work. Well, it finally happened, and it was fun. Me and my husband always buy plane seats towards the back of the plane. As we stroll down, we see a lady with a young son, maybe 11 or 12, sitting in our seats. They were both deep in their phones when I told her that she was in our seats. We had to wake up at 3 a.m. to drive to the airport, and we didn't really sleep, so I was not in the mood for BS. She smiles and tells us that they weren't seated together, so the stewardess told her they could sit here. She most definitely didn't. I smile back and say we paid for these seats, so we'd like to sit there. She keeps smiling her stiff smile and points to other empty seats behind us and asks if we wouldn't mind sitting in one of them, since they're already settled and comfortable. Would it even matter? Well, I said, yes, since the plane is still boarding, so these might all be reserved, and it really messes with the system if people sit in random seats. Goodness me, the flight's not even full yet. Just get up and move, man. It's insane. Anyway, she is starting to lose her smile and says if there aren't seats available after the plane has finished boarding, they would move then. Now, I'm not confrontational, and I'm usually a people pleaser, so I'm struggling to stand up for myself, but I'm so proud for doing it anyways. Meanwhile, my husband is struggling between boarding passengers to get the flight attendant. I sigh and, with a half smile, say, I'm sorry, but I just want to sit down and not stand in the hallway blocking people to see if maybe there are empty seats when I paid for our seats. And besides, I would like the police to be able to identify our bodies by seat number in case the plane crashes and our families want to bury our remains. Oh my goodness. The kid's face, which has been glued to his phone this entire time, shoots up in shock and he looks between me and his mum. It was delicious. She has a bewildered look on her face. There's silence for 5 seconds before she packs up her stuff and pokes her son to move. I keep smiling sweetly and thank her and plonk myself down as my husband returns with a flight attendant. I tell her everything is fine and I tell my husband what happened. We laughed and I'm pretty sure the mum heard, or at least I hope so. I didn't look back, but I think I'm not mistaken of feeling a laser stare in the back of my head. Luckily, the flight was only 3 hours, so I didn't need to walk past for the loo. Well, that was a phenomenal story. Well, there we go. Some of my fears, I think, have been offset a little bit by reading that story. I have just got a notification literally right now from the flight saying it's going to be delayed. Don't know how. It's 3 a.m. when I'm recording this and the flight's at 6:50. How is it already delayed? Makes no sense. You can see maybe behind me. Oh, can you? Yes, there we go. A rucksack. Doesn't give anything away. I have a bag here as well. I'm going. And you know what? Because of this story, I want to bump into some entitled people, and I'm not going to be as funny or nice or clever as OP. I'm just going to batter them in the face. Anyone got any objections? No? Okay, I'll do it then. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this one. Let me know if you enjoyed it down below. If you want more right away, check it out on screen right here. If you'd like to keep up with me when I'm away on holiday, because some of you might want to, then the link to my Instagram is down below. I'll post stories and stuff of me and my friends doing some silly stuff. So if you want it, if you're interested in that, go and check it out. If not, no worries. And I hope you don't bump into any entitled people anytime soon.